chapter 17th and verse number 14th we did last time. We were discussing last time what we saw was Bhagavad Krishna explaining three kinds of yajnas, three kinds of faith, and then we saw three kinds of tapa, austerities of the body. What kind of tapaha are sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. So all these three kinds are of sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. So verse 15th we continue, and so 14th verse was explaining. He was explaining what kind of tapaha are sattvic. Right? These are the worship. So they were worship of the gods, the twice born Brahmins, teachers, wise people, purity, rectitude, celibacy, and non-violence. These are the sattvic tapaha. Now in verse 15th, what is sattvic vachan, that is speech? What are the austerities of speech? So, what kind of speech we should all speak? An udveg karam vakyam satyam priya hitam chayat swadhyaya abhyasanam cha eva vangmayam tapa uchyate. This is the sattvic speech we should all. This is the speech, the austerity of the speech that we should all speak. What kind of speech? An udveg karam, the speech that does not increase somebody's distress. Somebody should not get depressed or distressed by our speech. An udveg karam, udveg, depress, distress. An udveg karam, that which does not cause distress or depression. Satyam, truthfulness, of course. Priyahitam, extremely agreeable, salutary. And then swadhyaya abhyasayanam, recitation of sacred texts. Swadhyaya is usually connected with studying the text, sacred texts. So speech should reflect the wisdom of the sacred texts. What a wonderful tapa of the speech. So one way of the ends, the literary gems should be part of our daily speech. Words that do not cause distress, truthfulness, truthful, agreeable, and beneficial, and practice in the recitation of sacred texts. These are called austerities of speech. What is austerity of mind now? We saw food and so many things. Now austerity of mind. So three kinds, everything's right. So now austerity of mind. Manaha prasadaha, how should mind be? Manaha prasadaha saumyatvam maunam atma vinigraha bhava sanshuddhi iti etat tapaha manasam uchyate. The mind should be mana prasadaha, extremely peaceful, saumya, gentleness, gentle mind, peaceful mind, prasadaha, which spreads calmness and which practices calmness. Maunam, silent mind, not disturbed mind, not chaotic mind, silence. Silence in mind, not speech. We are talking mind now. So Maunam, mind should be silent. Atma vinigraha, self-control, self-restraint, self-restraining mind. Bhava sanshuddhi, the entire purity, entire being should be full of purity. Sanshuddhi bhav, all emotions should be also pure. The entire being should be pure. Iti etat tapah manasam uchyate. These are the austerities of mind. Peace of mind, gentleness, silence, self-restraint, purity of being. These are called austerities of the mind. Verse 17th. Shraddhaya. So what is this now? Sattvic. What are the sattvic austerity? Shraddhaya paraya taptam tapah tat trividham naraihi aphala kankshi bhihi utyuktaihi sattvikam parichakshate. So three kinds of austerities now, but which are the sattvic ones? Sattvic tapaha. The tapaha that is done with faith, shraddhaya, practiced with the highest faith by people, paraya, the supreme faith. Tapaha tat trividham narahi. So three kinds of faith. So first quality of sattvic tap is shraddhaya, supreme shraddha, supreme faith. Aphalakankshi bhihi yuktaihi. It should not be based on a desire. The tapaha or austerity should never be for any desire of any fruit or consequence. Result should not be nishkam tapa. Nishkam kar, we all know this is nishkam tapa. Tapa done or austerity done without any desire for any fruit or result or consequence. Sattvikam parichaksha. So this is regarded as sattvic tapa, which is done with full faith, supreme faith, and without any desire for any consequence or result or fruit. Verse 18th. What is the rajasic tapa now? Satkar man pujartham tapah dambhen cha eva yat kriyate tad iha proktam rajasam chalam adhruvam. So this kind of tap is rajasam, rajasic tap, chalam, it's unstable always, not really, and adhruvam, not stable, not fixed, impermanent, chalam, impermanent. What are those kind of rajasic tapa? Satkar man puja. Those are done for satkar, self glorification, man, self respect, to increase one's uh, standing in the society. A lot of people do these big rituals, big yajnas, only to glorify their own ego. These are all rajasic tapa. Tapah dambhena, with all kinds of pump and show, the hypocrisy, are all part of rajasic tapa. Kriyate tad iha proktam rajasam chalam adhrum. They are impermanent and unstable and impermanent and unsteady. These are rajasic tapa. Then the tamasic tapa. Which are the tamasic tapa? Mood grahena mano yat पीड़या क्रियते तप परस्य उत्साधनार्थम वा तत् तामसम udhayatam. So which are the udhayatam is mentioned or can be given as an example. The tamasic tapaha are mood grahenatmano, self illusioned notion of self, which is based on illusion. The one's notion of self itself is based on illusion. That tapa, if somebody does tapa based on that false notion of self, that is tamasic. Pidaya, also to self torture, self mortification. So directly, indirectly, Bhagavad Gita is criticizing the tapa that is done solely for one's own torture. So it's kind of arguing for middle path. So not for self torture or self mortification. Parasya ussardha, any tapa that is done to give, for wishing evil for others, is also tamasic tapa. So extremely negative. Austerity which is performed with deluded notions and with self torture or with the aim of destroying another is declared to be tamasic. Verse 20th, verse chapter 17. Datavyam iti yat danam. Now the donation, what kind of donation is sattvic? Datavyam iti yat danam diyate anupakarine deshe kale cha patre cha tad danam sattvic kartam smritam. Tad danam sattvikam smritam. So smritam is like remembered. That dan is remembered, donation is remembered as sattvic. Which danam? Datavyam iti yati danam. I have to donate, so I am donating. Not for any fruit or consequence or any return. I don't expect a return gift. Diyate anupakarine. I'm just, if somebody does it just for charity, purely philanthropy, then that's a sattvic dan. Given to one who has done, and it is not being donated in favor of some other work that somebody did for us, and so we return that favor back by donation. That is not sattvic. That is not considered sattvic. Sattvic is one which is done completely proactively. Donation is done proactively, not as a return favor, and by carefully considering right deshe, place, right time, kale cha patre, suitable person should be donated, not unsuitable people. So the gift which is given only with a thought, it is to be given to a worthy person who has done no prior favor at the proper place and time. That gift is held to be sattvic. And finally, verse 21st for now. Yattu pratyupakarartham, yattu pratiupkarartham phalam uddishya va punaha diyate cha pariklishtam tad danam rajasam smritam. So rajasic dans are, donations that are rajasic are smritam, remembered, are those that are done as a return favor. Prati upkarartham phalam uddishya. And if those donations are done with proper goal in mind, that for if I donate this, I will get that in return, that would be considered as a rajasic dan. And it is given grudgingly, pariklishtam. So a lot of suffering when I donate something. If I am suffering, if I have this grudge in myself, then that's a rajasic Tapa, rajasic donation. Alright, so let's stop here and we'll continue next time.